Where y'all gonna learn, man? You can't stop what's inevitable. It's the incredible. PZHATM profit jewels, but they edible. I ate my vegetables, but he ate my spinach. Riding with it again, so no, we ain't finished. Legendary sadness, so no, you cannot copy. Riding dirty radio, so crispy, y'all so sloppy. Instant to the street, so we know just what is needed. Keep it underground, staying down, cause he ain't greedy. This is where you find what is popping for the culture, where we keeping it all precious. Stay away from all the vultures. No scavengers here, just keeping it real. Big got it out the mud, but it's still so clear. So sit back, relax, and just let us lead you. If you're scrolling for the reason, then we don't need you. It's Big XL, he can't be stopped. Riding dirty forever, the home of real hip hop. Ride dirty, y'all can't harm. I'm living fly in the sky with a song. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty. Ride dirty, dog, y'all can't harm. I'm living fly in the sky with a song. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty.
What up, world? What up, world? What up, world? It's your boy, Vic XL. This is the Ridin Durty Show, where we bridge the gap between hip-hop and everyday life. I always like to start the show by saying one time for the good people over at WRFG 89.3 FM, our FM radio home for the past 15 plus years. Definitely one time for them for providing us with an amazing platform. Also gotta say one time for the good people over at live365.com. All right, let me tell y'all a little bit about live365.com. Live365.com is the internet's oldest and longest running streaming site. But they are not just your average musical streaming site. No. They are a streaming site which allows radio stations to broadcast via the internet. Now, with live365.com, some of your favorite terrestrial radio stations broadcast via their platform. Well, we've partnered up with live365.com and launched our very own media-based tracking radio station. The name of our radio station is Ride 95. Now, you might ask yourself, how can I locate Ride 95? It's very easy, and I'm going to tell you how. First thing you got to do is, if you're on your computer, go to live365.com. In the search engine, be sure to type in the words Ride, the number 95. Once our station logo comes up, click on the station logo and you'll hear music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now, you might ask yourself, how can I listen via my mobile device? Very, very easy. Equally as easy. But the first thing you got to do is download the Live365 app. Download the Live365 app. Then, in the search engine, type in Ride 95. Click on the station logo. Music pops up. 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. Please lock us in, all right? Please lock us in. Remember, we are a media-based internet radio station, all right? So, again, one time for the good people of Live 365. All right? I also got to say one time a salute to everybody who was born on today. Today is Saturday, August the 28th. Happy birthday to everyone celebrating their birthday today. And definitely, I got to say God bless to everyone who's definitely staying safe during this pandemic season. Now, my voice is a little hoarse, so I'm going to cut it a little shorter than normal and get directly to our guests. But I also want to let you guys know, please make sure you check out our interviews. We rebroadcast our interviews on Roku TV, so you can always check out our interviews on GCTV Roku. They come on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. All right? Check out our interviews every Thursday night on GCTV Roku at 10 p.m. Also, got to say one time for all the streaming services out there that rebroadcast the show: iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, Audio Mac, Mixcloud, just to name a few. All right, so look, I'm not going to talk your heads off tonight because of my voice, and I'm just going to let y'all get to know this awesome guest we have. Because you know, the Ridin Durty platform, this platform is for the people who are definitely changing our culture. The movers, the shakers, the people that are doing it through arts, entertainment, music, religion, philanthropism, entrepreneurship. They're just changing the world brick by brick, day by day. And the day is no different than any other day or night on the Ridin Durty platform. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. And I repeat, welcome, gospel artist Adaora. How you doing tonight, ma'am?
I am doing also. What's poppin'?
I'm doing good. I got a little hoarseness going on with my voice, but you know what? I feel great. I'm corona free, and I'm blessed to be alive.
I was gonna say, okay.
Hey man, being corona free is very, very important in 2020.
I know what you're saying.
You don't want that package.
As a matter of fact, my mom had it, and none of us knew that she had it. She had gone to work and was told she had a little bit of fever, and she came home like we were like scared, like, oh my God, you have it, At least at that time she didn't know she had it. She just had a fever, but we tried to be, safe and stuff like that. So we quarantined her in the basement, and sure enough, when she got her test, she was positive. So I know how it is, the fears of, oh my God, what's going to happen to someone, especially, an older person. So it's really, really important for us to take this seriously and be safe and, try to use our masks, wash our hands, sanitizers, and all of that stuff. Because this stuff is real, it was really crazy, when she had it. I had young kids trying to isolate them. They want to talk to grandma, and you're like, oh, you can't do that. It was really, really crazy. So I get your drift.
Yeah, it's definitely, the thing about it is no one really knows anything about it. I mean, if you go or if you sneeze, people automatically think you got it. There's really no meds for it, no treatment, just quarantine, prayer, and getting better.
Yeah.
All right, so the first thing I got to ask you is, did I properly pronounce your name?
You actually did great. You did really good with it. I was kind of like holding my breath, but you did good with it. Adaora. It originates from Nigeria, and I know a lot of people ask me what it means. It means first daughter, so I'm the first daughter of my parents, and that's just what it means. It's kind of a very welcoming name. Adaora, also daughter of everyone. So Ada, A-D-A, means first daughter, but Adaora means first daughter. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so look, let's get into the life of Adaora. My first question is, let the world know where you're from.
So Adaora lives in Maryland, USA. I've lived in the States now for 20 years. I'm originally from Nigeria. I am the Air Force Reserves. I'm a PhD medicinal chemist. I'm a mother of two amazing daughters, married. I call myself a Jesus girl. So I'm saved and by God's grace sanctified. And what else is there to know about Adaora? Adaora is just your home girl, that kind of understanding who she is and her place in the world, has talents, and continues to explore these talents and just get to know herself better and figure out how she can use her talents to benefit her community.
Okay. Man, you are a real live Renaissance woman. You got a lot of things going on. How have you found time to make music, especially being a mother of two? The reserves, like everything you got going on. How have you found time to make music?
Amazingly, music is the only thing that keeps me sane. Like it's the thing that brings all these pieces together. Because for me, that creative space is just really a place of rest for me. When I'm writing or when singing, I'm in this place of like a euphoria state, you know. I do everything that I do as a result of, life, and you just gotta, lend yourself to more stuff. You have to stay engaged, stay involved. But when it comes to music, it just takes me to a different place. I feel like that's my purpose. The rest is to pay my bills and take care of my family. Of course, my daughters, me being a mom and, being married or being in love and all of that, of course, is life. And being a mom is really awesome, and it brings a different kind of purpose to me or for me. But music is just a whole different level. So I could be so tired, as in so tired, and then, I get into that space, I start writing, I'm about to gig, and I just get extra freshness, extra strength, just because I feel it's my purpose, and because of the zeal, I would say, that I have for what I do, I just get kind of like refreshed from doing that. I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to articulate it because it doesn't make sense if you're tired and you still are able to get up and do more stuff, but it just brings some kind of strength into my body. I don't know how to explain it.
All right, now, when did you realize that you had the talent to actually be an artist, and when did you turn your life over to the Lord?
I was raised in a Christian family, but I'll say when I really got serious with the Lord was probably, when I was in my teenage years, right? In terms of when I discovered that I could sing, very earlier on, I had an aunt that was part of the choir, and, I loved hanging out with her, and so she would just take me to choir practices. And I just loved what they did and just the way the music was playing. She's singing. And so I come home and I try to do some of the things that I heard at choir practice. And I was like, it's like, I sound good, And she would compliment me as well. And but I didn't really start taking music seriously till I was in my teenage years. I got involved with a local band back home in Nigeria. And then, I started doing a little bit of dancing, just getting more involved with music and all of that stuff. When I actually went solo was when I got done with my PhD here in the States, and there was just something missing. It's like everybody's like, what's wrong with you? You are in the military, you're serving purpose, you're doing great things with your life. You just, came out of grad school, you have a PhD, what the heck, what's wrong with you? But there was just that vacuum, because I know how I felt when I was in that creative space. I know how I felt when I was singing. And so I struggled with it. I told myself, number of lies that, that's okay, And I was writing the whole time. I was writing songs the whole time. And I just kept convincing myself that maybe I was just writing to be able to pass it on to someone else, and I'm going to find someone else that's going to, really sing the songs and bring them to life. Or maybe my kids will, have a talent for music, and then they can sing my songs. But I just had this daring, crushing burden, of just taking it a step further. And eventually, in 2012, I stepped out and did my first solo project.
All right, how did people respond to your project?
Actually, just because, some people say, oh, you were a child star. I don't know what that means. But, it was refreshing for some people that really loved my style of music. thought that that was my purpose, not even going to medical school and all of that stuff. They were like, this is what you were born to do. Seeing me come back to do exactly those things for some people was really, I guess, an answer to prayer for some of them. And I was welcomed, but again, I've been out of that space for a very long time, and I don't even live in Nigeria. At that time, I've been in the States for over 12 years at that time. And so it was kind of like me trying to understand the music space back in Nigeria, how to put sound out, how to put sound out here in America. It was just so much, two different cultural, places, understanding the markets, and it was just a lot for me. But back home in Nigeria, in my local community where I started singing as a kid, people were very, very happy, and they were like, wow, we're finally doing this thing. We love it. And that was the reaction that I got. But, as time went on and I started understanding music in Nigeria, how to put music out and stuff like that, it really just was exponential.
Okay. How do you feel like Nigerian artists are accepted in the States?
Oh, wow. I think we need to book another show for that. I think it's just a cultural mindset, honestly. A lot of the Nigerian artists that I know, they love, American music, American artists, or just Western music in general. And I see when I see the other way around, where the American, some of my friends, some are just, people that I have heard comments from, the way they view artists from other parts of the world, it's kind of like not on the same level, if I could say that. I'm just trying to sanitize all of this right now. It's not at the same level. Like there's a different, I guess, is a different kind of expectation, but people are not quite understanding that there's a reason music from a certain place sounds the way it does. Their cultural influences on the music. I think the one that was very bewildering for me was when Michelle Williams had released that When Jesus Say Yes. I don't know if you know that song. I think she featured Beyonce and Carrie Rowland. And the comments, people were just, online. It was just really, for me, it was like mind-boggling. Like, seriously, this is a Nigerian song that's re-sung by Michelle Williams, and this is what people got to say. Like, some of them were very negative comments, like, instead of paying homage to the originators of the music, I saw people mocking the originators of the music, because I think people have like this mind frame of how a song should sound, but they're not realizing that there are cultural influences that dictate how a song sounds in a different part of the world. So I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's my take on it.
All right. Look, we don't have a lot of time, and you have two songs you sent me, and I want to get both those songs played for the people, but I want to ask a little bit about them. The first song, I Can, and it has a legendary artist on it, Papa San. Tell me a little bit about that record.
So this song, just quickly, was one day I was really down, having the blues. I have a sister group, and I just sent a message. It was on a WhatsApp chat, and I said, I am kind of down in the spirit. Can you send me a word? And that was the word the lady sent to me. She said, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. And I just started humming a tune, and then I got to writing. And eventually, my promoter at that time, I was talking to her, and she said, and I sent her the song, and she said, it's really good. I think a good person to feature on this song will be Papa San. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? You mean the Papa San? She was like, yes. And we got talking. Oh my God, he's so gracious. It's just an awesome man of God. And once we, started talking, he said, I don't know what it is, but I just feel led to do the song. And boom, we did it. And, we put it out, and, it's really been a blessing to a lot of people that have heard it. Kind of like that picker-upper song, you're heading to an interview, you're going through stuff, you just encourage yourself. And really, the bedrock of that song is, parts of the Bible, especially the character David. David had a lot of down times in his life, but he somehow encouraged himself and reminded himself who he was and who God was to him, and he was able to overcome them. So that's just a statement song for whoever is going through stuff, that you remind yourself, especially in these times, that a lot of us have projections for ourselves, what we want to accomplish this year, and it's just not happening. But you can't give up. You can do all things, because your abilities are not just dependent on what you have, especially, as a saved person, also the God that you serve, the God that you believe in.
All right. And we're also going to be playing I Come Remix. Tell me a little bit about that one.
So I Come is like an intimate song, kind of a love song that I was just writing to my Maker, and just the relationship that I have with him. And, traditionally, we see God as our sire. We see God as someone that does things for us. But, going back to the days of the Garden of Eden, the Bible did say, or the scriptures say, that God came down to fellowship with Adam and Eve, right? He wasn't just their supplier. Yes, he had given them this awesome garden, but he wanted to fellowship with them. I was just saying that we have to take a minute sometimes and just love on God, because that's what he craves. That's what he wants from us. Not just necessarily, we making demands like, God, you got to do this. God, give me a new car. You got to give me a new house. You got to do this for me and that for me. Sometimes just love on him. And that's really what the song is all about.
All right. I have to ask this question. What would be your word, especially in 2020 with so many things that has transpired 8 months into the 12-month year? What would be your word, especially being as you say, a Jesus girl? What would be your words of encouragement to those out there who feel like their faith has been tested, definitely in 2020?
What I would say is that there comes a time in our life where the bustle of life and the whole, just so much going on, we lose sight of what's important. It takes times like this. I'm not saying this is what the intentions are, but it takes times like this for us to just take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Because now, just as you said, with coronavirus, you might have money, but there's no cure for it. Like there's nothing out there you can just go take and feel better. So it makes you think a little bit more about yourself as a human. It makes you think a little bit more about your environment, your community. How can I, better take care of myself? How can I help take care of people around me? So I think if anything, this is just a pause moment for all of us to just sit back. And there's some people that never vacation for a while. There's some people that have not really, taken time out for themselves, that are forced to now be home. In fact, my daughters have been asking me to play Uno with them. And I just keep pushing it. I have to have all these things to do. I can't. But guess what? I have to be forced to stay home with them. Now I know how to play Uno, and I'm really beating them at it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that during this time, it's just a time for you to just stop and just catch your breath. Don't see all negative, right? It could just be a time for you to just, be refreshed. I know we want to go out, we just want to hang out, we just want to do all of these things. But it's just a time for you to, some of the hobbies, some of the things that you have lost sight of, you don't do anymore. This might be a time to get back to them. Some unfinished projects, this might be a time to get back at them. It's not time for you to just feel sorry and gloomy rather, about what's going on.
All right. Let's talk a little bit about the World Wide Web and social media. How has the World Wide Web and social media affected how you get your music to the masses?
At least for independent artists, that's really the only way right now, being able to put out your content and, and just, I guess, pray that the right people see it and it meets with the right people, basically. If we didn't have that option, then it would be very disastrous, right? So it's been very beneficial, I would say, especially for independent artists, and just, being able to, like, even just put something on Facebook and get someone from India or China or on YouTube and get comments from someone in, like, a third world country. I think it's just mind-blowing. And very thankfully, we are able to get those kind of responses because of the World Wide Web.
All right. Now, with that being said, tell the world how to find you when it comes to the World Wide Web and social media.
Okay. So I recently changed all my handles because it was kind of confusing for a while. So on IG, on Facebook, on YouTube, and every other thing is I Am Adaora Music. I Am Adaora is spelled Adaora Music. So at I Am Adaora Music on Twitter, on IG, my Facebook page / I Am Adaora Music, my YouTube / I Am Adaora Music. I also have a website, adoramusic.com. You can go on there and find my content, read a little bit more about me. I'm interested in doing so many other things. As you see, just as you say, I'm a Renaissance woman. I try to dabble in so many things. I just, if I see a problem, I try to offer solution. I just don't complain about it.
Okay. Miss Adaora, the first thing I want to say is thank you for coming on the show. And you are definitely a blessing to those who hear your music and encounter you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, now, I want you to end the show off by shouting out anyone you choose to shout out and introduce your 2 records, and the way you introduce them will be the order I play them.
Okay. So, of course, I want to shout out to everyone, first of all. Again, this is some humbling times, but stay safe, be tight. I want to shout out to my amazing husband. He's just my rock. He's been there for me with my traveling, gigging, military, all of that. It's just awesome. Shout out to my mom, Rosalina Badike, just amazing grandma to my kids. She's been here with me, just helping me to do the things that I do. And shout out to my Lidos team. I work at Lidos.
90 seconds.
My church, Mercy Seat Chapel. And my songs, I Can, it's just a very song for the times right now. You just have to get out of that gloominess and just remind yourself that you can do all things, regardless of coronavirus, regardless of whatever you see right now, you can do all things. Pick up a hobby, do something, stay positive. And then for I Come,
60 seconds.
In whatever it is that, you find yourself doing, just take a moment to love on God. Just take a moment to appreciate Him for who He is. I know He does things for us, and we are always asking Him to do this and that. But just sometimes just step back a little bit and just appreciate Him for what He's done already, and appreciate Him for the love of Christ.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a blessed night.
Thank you so much for having me. You too.
Yeah, more than the conqueror chap. Easy, Adaora, Papa San. Yeah, listen, God people.
10 seconds.
of a general. Through Jesus Christ. I can. Bless him, bless him. I will. Yeah. Hey. Hey. I can. Yes, I can. Hey. I will. Hey. Talk to them, Adaora. Jump. I can do all things. Hey. Jump. Hey, like you did. Yes, I can do. Jump. In the name of Jesus, I can do all things. Nothing is impossible. All things. I can do all things. Let me hear you say. Hey. Come on, got me on the super boss. They clear the things for the willing. Give me the mouth for that. Don't watch me see it. So the grace man, give me a shot to your future prophesy. And forget the past. No, me now be worry about the past. Hey. We'll give about the economy. Done from Gethsemane. Christ, give me the victory. The power over the enemy. So me no parliament. Christ, give me the power. Give me the victory. Gotta be super friend. No, me now be worry about the past. Hey. I can do all things, yeah. Easy up in general. No matter who is president, I can do. Adaora. Papa Stan. No matter the economy, yes, I can do. Everything. Cause who I am is not dependent on the economy. I can do all things through Christ, my Savior. I can do all things. Let me hear you say it now. Yes, I can do. Yes, I can do. Talk to them. I'm an overcomer. Yes, I am. I will make it. Yes, I will. I carry His power. Yes, I do. Oh, I can do all things. I can do all things. I can do all things, yeah. I can do all things, yeah. I can do it, yes, I can do. I can do all things. 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 Yes, I can do. Yeah, more than the conqueror. I can do all things. I can do. God, people. Come up. Yeah.
Yes, lover of my soul. The lover of my soul, I come. You pick me up and place me. You exchange my shame for glory. And you made my life worth living. I come to love and you I come. To worship you I come, I come. I come to love and you I come. With all I am, I come. To the lover of my soul, I come. You pick me up and clasp me, God. You exchange my shame for glory, yes you did. And you made my life what you said. I come to love you. you love me first. Went all the way to the cross for me. Take me from the miry clay. Place my feet on the rock to stand. Yeah, you are my savior. Huh. You are my savior. How can I live without you? My savior, you are my savior, sir. You are my savior. How can I breathe without you? My savior. How can I move without you? My savior. You are my savior.
That was Adaora right here on the Ridin Durty show. Look, everyone, y'all, please be encouraged. Make sure y'all check out Adaora. Check out both her records, I Can and I Come Remix. Make sure you check out her YouTube videos. Check her out on all streaming platforms. Follow on Instagram and Twitter. All right? It's your boy Vic XL. This is the Ridin Durty show. We'll see you guys tomorrow with another awesome interview. Y'all have a blessed night. Be encouraged.